if you don't listen, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's that simple.
Says I gotta reconnect.
Oh wait. I actually have. Why is it? Oh, it has me in here.
Yeah, we're
Select that.
live. I mean, it's live right now, but it's not live to my Facebook because it wants me to reconnect, even though it just gave me the check sign. But this week we're talking about networking.
Is network? Dang, it's making me like make a title, or does it just
Yeah.
automatically do that?
It no, it automatically does the title.
Oh, okay, because
It
it's
is
like seems like
weird.
it's making me do a title. Select destination. Whatever.
Mhm.
What were you saying?
We're live right now.
We're live on the air.
Yes, sir. But the whole, I guess the we're talking about networking, and specifically because you just came from an event,
I did.
and the event. Tell us about the event. What you do? What were you there for? What you learned?
Um,
Was it worth it?
yeah, it was worth it. I'll tell you what I learned. So, first thing I learned is business cards are still very viable. I've been having a debate in my internal debate with myself, and I've even looked up on YouTube, are business cards dead? And this is what I'm realizing about advice. You just got to be good at just taking your own advice, like from in your own mind. Because I've heard videos that they are dead, and I've heard videos that they're not dead. So then it's like, okay, so what do I do? And what I learned is that the people who asked for business cards were pretty much like 45 or 50 and up, which those people have needs, they have businesses, they have money, they have budgets,
Yeah.
So I think business cards are so that's what I learned is business cards are definitely something you should have if you're dealing with a certain target audience.
Mm.
And probably depending on what you're from a business context, right? You probably should always have business cards. You should just have them. Like give them to somebody, they'll throw it in the trash. I mean, they're like cheap
So I
to
think this
order
is a
business cards.
yeah. I think from an overall theme of what you're gonna say,
Yeah.
things have a thing of circling back around.
Yes. Yes.
So is business cards one of those? I don't think they've ever been dead because yeah, that audience that you were working with always had business cards. They never
Yeah.
went digital.
Well,
They
you know
got the
what's
LinkedIn, they got all
I
that stuff, but
agree with you.
they
Yeah,
never went digital.
I agree with you. But it speaks to a bigger thing. So yes,
Yeah.
stuff comes back around. But here's what it really speaks to. What I've learned: digital overwhelm. Like
Mm.
people, just a bunch of contacts in their phone doesn't really do anything for them. I go through my phone and purge contacts like every 6 months, and it's like, who is this person? Like, how they even get into my phone? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I think it's because it's just so like those tap cards or those like you know what I'm talking about. There's like a
Yeah.
ton of them.
Yeah.
It's like putting that's like almost first of all it's like okay first of all I'm not ready for you to be in my phone yet. I just talked to you 5 minutes
That is
ago.
extremely personal, right?
Exactly. And then like once you get in here, like you're not I'm gonna forget you're in there. A business card is like people keep them on their desk, they put them in a jar. Some people like go through the process of like actually looking at the business card and then putting it like labeling it when they put it in their contacts. There's like a
And
process in it.
right. So for me, I mean, I guess it's going to be like what you're saying, structure. What do you do with prospects or business cards? And really, do I want all my prospects in my phone? Because now my phone list is going to be a gazillion contacts long.
Exactly. Exactly.
And my contact list, because you were saying you purge it, right?
Yeah.
I'll never purge mine. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I do have phone numbers. Oh, this is gonna be sad. I have phone numbers of people who passed away, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't delete them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's other people in there that I don't even know exactly who they are, or I got them years ago. But my phone contact list is it's my personal phone.
Yeah.
So if I contact somebody, if I'm looking for somebody's information, more than likely I want to put them in my CRM.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
could put where they're from,
That's
where
what I
I
was gonna
met
say.
them,
Yep.
organization, and I am more likely to contact you
Yeah.
through my CRM than trying to find your phone number.
No,
'Cause I
I
might
agree
not
with
even
you.
remember your name.
Okay, so you bring up another good point. So, we both are familiar with Go High Level.
Yep.
And my other company, Giant Maker, we white label it. And I really I have my own sub account, Demetrius Resub account, and I'm like, man, this CRM, I'm actually gonna use this just for like my contact list in general, like even like my personal acquaintances I meet, because when I used to work for Apple and I was on the business team, I learned from the business manager, and it's actually one of the most valuable things I learned at Apple was how powerful CRMs are and telling a story of that contact, right? Through the notes, right? So, like, hey, I met this person at a conference, or this person came in with their kid, and they're a business owner. They were buying an iPod for their kid who just had a birthday, but they have a business, a landscaping business, and they want to get iPhones. They potentially want to get iPhones for their sales guys. And we have a meeting coming up. I'm gonna follow up later, and then bam, just had the meeting with the guy. He's gonna bring in his business partner, and we're gonna talk through stuff more. I gave him like, and then when you go back look through that CRM and you look at all the different notes, you're like, oh, I know who this person is, and that is kind of like what I don't do just with my contacts in general. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I do think that that's how you should network.
All right.
Or
So
when
you ready for your
yeah.
$1 million idea? Tap the card to my CRM,
Oh yeah, that's actually really good.
not to my contact list.
Yeah,
Tap the
yeah,
card to my CRM.
yeah,
Because that makes sense to me. Because it's just like you said, I may not be ready for you in my contact
yeah,
list,
yeah,
or maybe I have a business number that I use, like a Google Voice, or
yeah.
maybe something different that is not attached to my personal cell phone.
Are you want to? So, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. This is like I'm gonna take us on a tangent, but it has to do with all this stuff, right?
Go for it.
So, I desperately need to separate my personal phone from my business. Like I need to have separation from my people calling me, texting me that are business versus personal, right? So before I had two phones, two phone numbers, two phones. It's hard to manage two phones. It really is.
It really
But
is.
I still had that problem. So what I did is used this company. I actually used this company 2 years ago, and they were really good. But they changed a lot, and I didn't know that. It's called Open Phone, and what it is, it's a business. It's an app you put on your phone, and you can there's software for the computer, and it's pretty much a new phone number. You can text, you can answer calls. It's great. Okay,
Why
and I
not just
was
Google Voice?
well, Google. Google. I don't like Google. they just like stop you
Hey,
from doing stuff. Like they're just like really
listen,
whack,
that's okay.
right?
That's exactly right. You're allowed to be like, just because I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like Google. But Open Phone. So I was texting somebody, right? And I was like, I think I said like the F word or something. I was like texting the F word, but it was like I'm texting somebody. All of a sudden it said text can't go through. Text can't go through. And I was like, why can't I send texts anymore? Now I done went to all my clients, sent them this nice, thoughtful email saying, "Hey guys, that number you have in your phone, I'm asking if you can replace it with this number because this is going to be my business line. It's going to allow me to kind of have a separation, but also be able to serve you better and and stuff like that. But I'm just asking if you can get rid of that number." First of all, half of them didn't even do it. They still text my other number,
Of
but
course.
some of them did, right? Guess what? The two things Open Phone stopped doing. It stopped giving me notifications just on its own, and it would not let me text anybody back because I
You
submitted a
swore in
support.
it?
I didn't know that's what happened, so I submitted a support ticket, and it said, "Oh, it's because you broke our guidelines." I'm like, so now you listening to like my text messages of what I'm saying? Like this should be
Ooh.
my number. So that's the type of stuff I don't like about Google. So guess what I have to do now? I have to dust off my old iPhone because I never shut that number down and go back to those old contacts and say, I mean, those people who say, "Hey, I made a mistake. Here's the number I need you to put in your phone. And it's just like, again, I'm not complaining, but these are the things that come with entrepreneurship, trying to network, trying to keep things nice and clean, trying to separate, trying to have some balance. It's like you pick the wrong software, you're screwed. And now it's like I feel like because you know what I hate when I'm at a coffee shop on Sunday with my family chilling, and my clients are texting me, but
Mm.
they're not necessarily texting me because they want me to do something right now. They're just trying to get it off their plate. Like, hey, just hey, Demetrius, on Monday, don't worry about nothing this week and enjoy your weekend. But on Monday, I was just wondering if you could send over that spreadsheet. And it's just like
But when they text you, it applies the pressure.
it applies pressure.
It doesn't matter if it says Monday.
Exactly. So now I'm thinking about, oh, Monday, where's that spreadsheet at? Oh, you know what?
Oh my
I gotta,
gosh, is it
I
on a
gotta look.
OneDrive or is it
Yeah,
Google
exactly. So I'm trying to be like oblivious. I want to be like blind to any type of that stuff. But I don't know. When you just said Google Voice number and all that, it just made me think of like you got to kind of have that system thought out. And I'm the type of person where like I would love to leave my business phone at home when I go out with my family, and not one business thing comes through, and I'm not there yet.
I mean, all that
So
to say, we were talking about business cards, right? So all
yeah,
their
yeah,
debt,
yeah,
we went on a little tangent.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but what I said, because when I hear business cards, people do like, oh yeah, but this is the new era. We can do the phones and all that, right? But it also gives you some buffer to
yeah,
be like, 'cause some people are like, hey, let's exchange information, and you're probably never going to talk to them again.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's like, okay, well, I get to decide with a
yeah.
business card what I want to do with the relationship if I want to
Exactly.
move it forward, where I don't feel like it's forced, and then it's in there forever because I'll never find
Yeah,
their name or whatever.
yeah,
But full things go full circle, right? So as you think about all the other stuff, right? Being the big one I think of when I say full circle, I think of mail versus email,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So
I hate
when
email, by the way.
okay, exactly. How good does it feel nowadays to get a letter in the mail?
Yeah,
Sometimes personalized, sometimes just something you bought. You're like, oh
yeah,
my gosh. Like there's this whole new feeling of it where it's not all bills. Because people who stop doing mail, now people only get bills,
yeah.
right? If they're only doing emails now.
All I get is
And
bills.
someone needs to send. Yeah, but okay, let me ask you a question. Because I think one time I sent you something in the mail and it was a
Uh-huh.
card.
I do. I think I do remember.
Okay, how did that feel to get a card in the mail? It was like a
Yeah,
picture of your family or you and your wife or something like happy
yeah, yeah,
birthday or anniversary.
yeah. I actually did remember that. Did I
Yeah,
ever bring it up?
you may have. I'm sure you
Yeah,
have. It doesn't matter. But the whole point is like things come full circle, right? So it's
yeah.
like our business card's dead. I don't want them to be dead because I
I
don't
don't want
want
to be dead
everybody.
either.
Yeah. So being from what you said, I actually created a new business card basically because I'm venturing into other things other than my agency, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing the
yeah, yeah.
broker coaching, maybe I'm doing investing,
I
maybe
already
I'm
know where you're
doing
going. I'm excited. Go. I just
yeah. So personal brand.
yes.
So I thought personal brand. Do you want to see what I created?
Yeah, show me. This is exactly what but by the way, this is exactly what I would do. I would have one business card that takes you into every aspect of my world that you want to go into.
Right.
I
Exactly.
wouldn't have a business card for every one of my businesses, personally.
No, who wants it? Because then you gotta
Yeah.
like, sift through like, okay, which
Yeah.
one are you? Which one do you want? Let me see.
Especially when you're networking, the person's talking to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like they're interacting with you as a brand, you as a person. So why would you be like, oh yeah, here's a Giant Maker card, and then here's a GoCast card, and then here's my freelancing business card. It's like they're like,
Exactly.
bro,
All right. So I need honest feedback. One, I think it's okay. I don't think it's like
yeah.
the best. I don't think it's bad. But you better always be honest with me. So let me
Oh, I
people
don't lie.
if people are not watching this,
But after this,
and
I want to talk about convenience versus fidelity, which is exactly what this is. Oh, that's good. I like how you hold the line. That's cool.
yeah,
That's a
so I
subtle design. It's
settled
like
design.
yeah, it's like your yeah, it's like you're like doing something like it's like magic. It's like movie magic.
Yeah, it's
It's
different.
yeah, it's like his arms coming back from behind the shadows back there. The whole that's
It's like a
cool.
wall. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm gonna tell you why. No, this is good for bro. You already know. Let me see all the stuff. You're a marketing agency owner, mortgage loan officer, and investor.
I
Hey,
didn't put poker coach only because it got to be too much, right?
yeah,
Like it started going down. I'm like, oh man. I was like, and everyone, I always feel like three in my brain has always been like a good number to be around.
yeah,
And truthfully, I haven't even passed the mortgage license thing yet. So like I might have to take that off.
yeah,
But my goal is to have it.
yeah,
But so around the things that I want, these are them, right? So if someone gives, I can give this to somebody, whether they want to work with me as an agency, they want to buy a house, or they want to invest in some property. Like I'm down.
yeah, yeah.
I even thought
Well,
about
when you say
having,
investor, is that what you mean? You mean real estate investing?
yeah, or
I
I
would,
mean,
because I thought at first I don't know why I thought you was just an investor, so that
well,
might throw somebody
I
off.
I'm okay with that because right now
Oh,
I'm
okay.
investing in my buddy's company, and
Oh,
we're
okay.
like, doing projects and stuff. So
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
if it sounds like a good
If your money can make you
deal,
money, it might, and it sounds good, you'll do it. If it
I'm
makes
in there,
sense.
right?
Oh, okay.
Now, one thing I am jealous of you, right? You have a website with your name.
Oh yeah, DemetriusReed.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've tried to buy my name, and there's like weird ways to spell it, but
Yeah.
it didn't come across right.
Well, that's the unique. I have a unique way of spelling Demetrius. Even though there are other people out there that have it, but it's just that O in there
Yeah,
that blessed me. Oh, let me see the back.
yeah, I just kept it simple. MG, Master of Marketing. Masters of Marketing. Well, Master of Marketing. I don't know what to put. I don't know how to say that correctly,
Master.
but
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're the master.
yeah, I'm the master, right? But
Except
so
I ain't calling you master, but I love you.
I appreciate that. But
No, I'm just saying my people had to call people master back in the day. I don't think black people are allowed to do that.
oh,
That's just a joke.
I
That's
hear
just a
you.
racial joke. Oh, hopefully somebody's out there laughing.
Hopefully they know you're black, right? Because if they just listen to it, they're
I
like, "Wait,
know.
what?
Well,
What
no,
did he just
they
say?"
have to know I'm black. They have to know I'm
um,
black.
yeah. So, blah blah blah. Yeah, and I might change this. I don't. I just didn't know what to put here. I didn't want to
No,
put my
I
name
like it.
again.
I like the MG though, because you know what it reminds me of? It's
Tell
like
me.
Walt Disney. It's like a
Mm,
brand.
I
It's
like
like
it.
you can get that monogrammed on shirts and stuff like that, and it'll be different. Yeah,
Never even thought of that neither. All
yeah,
that to say is the business cards are back.
yeah. No, they are.
So
So,
that's why.
I love it. So, all right. So there's this thing called convenience versus fidelity or high fidelity, and when it comes down to like attributes of a product or a service or an experience or like an offering, it's like, you know, does this do something really fast? Does this makes things easier? Is this going to give me my time back? There's like all these little convenience things. And then there's things of like, is this going to boost my status?
Mm.
Um, you know, this like what cost do I have to give up to give this? Oh, you have to give up a lot. Oh. So there's like these things that are also attributes of businesses that also kind of are positives, right? So like fast, quick, it does multiple things. Those are like, people looking for like convenience products and services that are convenient, that make things quicker and easy for them. And then you have products that actually go out of their way to not be convenient. For example, like records. So buying a record player versus buying an MP3 player, right?
Mm.
And what does a record player force you to do? Go out and buy records. Vinyl records are fragile. You have to clean them. So now you have to manage them. They're heavy. If you have a bunch of records you're moving around, so you're going to set them up in a room. But there are people, like including myself, who have a record collection, and my daughters too, because it's a different experience. and they're getting tired of just going on Spotify and what music do you own? I own all the music in the world. When I go, I own everything. Every piece of music that's ever come out, I have it. It's mine. A record collection is, oh, I went out and bought that from Record Exchange. There was only one left, or I bought this at a concert. I went to go see this band and they signed it, and I bought this at a concert. So there's a lot of other things like that, like fast food versus sit down restaurants and things like that. Top golf versus actually going and golfing 18 holes and joining a country club. Like there's high fidelity experiences, and then there's like convenience experiences or things. And I feel like that tap thing is a convenience thing, and not everyone's bought into that. And then like business cards are like old school, shake my hand, look me in the eye. You had to actually physically hand it to me. So I was in your presence. We're having a great conversation. And by the way, I liked talking to Michael. I'll never forget that conversation. And then you swap business cards. So I think, to your point, that stuff's coming back. I think that the digital overload of our lives and just everything being too convenient. Like it's like business used to be like, hey, you have a great product, you figured out how to get it in front of people. Then it became like, all you need is a ClickFunnels account or Go High Level. All you need is a couple $1,000s budget, and you can put ads in front of anybody you want. And I think that we've been doing that for so long that people are just like, can you come to my house and actually sell me the product? Like, can you sit down? Like, I know that's not scalable, but I'm exaggerating, but I just feel like people just want a little bit more high fidelity experiences.
I mean, it's the same thing of what you did, right? You went to this networking event where you could have did a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And what did you feel like were the benefits of being in person, being around those people? Like, okay, business cards aren't dead. That's just one fact.
Well, the other thing too, the title that you came with, networking isn't dead. That's the other thing that I already knew, but I feel like when you're trying to grow a business, trying to be an entrepreneur, let's just face it. On your business card, you had like 3 different things that you're into, and there's other stuff too, like poker and all that. You're trying to manage all these different things, and sometimes you forget like the fundamentals. And I just forgot that networking isn't dead, and just being at a place with a bunch of people who are there at that place too, and it's just like it's not. And this is the other thing too. It's not even just about the person you're talking to. Can that person do something for you, or can you do something for that person? It's when they talk to you and then they go talk to somebody else, even if it's not at that particular event, but somebody in their network in general, they'll be like, oh yeah, I just met a guy who does ads. And it's like, oh, you know what, let me link you with him. And people love being the linker. I do. So I just feel like it's when you network with the right people, you actually get access to their network. And so I just think that's the thing. I just forgot it. And it's real to me now.
Listen, COVID came 2020 and it's 2024, and I still feel like I'm in COVID.
Yeah.
And I say that only because we had to be so secluded, masks, very impersonal, 6 feet away. Like all these things were mandated, whether you wanted to do them or not. Like, you would walk into a store like, you don't have a mask, we can't serve you. I walked into Cheesecake Factory, and they're like, you need a mask to walk from the door to the table. And I'm like, I'm not putting on no mask to walk there. And I left so angry. Now, whatever happened in that moment, to that year, 6 months, whatever it was, I felt yes. I'm
like 2 years.
2 years. Let it be 2 years. I felt the effects of it like 2 weeks ago. Because COVID comes, we have to work from home. I've been working from home since, and I've really been ingrained to it. And when I left the world in the middle of the day, when normally I'm working, I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to be outside. Right? Like normally, okay, I go out for dinner and I do anything. I can do all those things, but those are like to me, I'm like, okay, but I don't leave during this time. I have to stay indoors at this time. And I left and I was like, oh my gosh, is that I'm gonna talk a little, I don't want to say about mindset thing, but maybe it is a mindset, but has that been ingrained in me right now to where it's like you have to stay inside, you can't leave, don't really network with people? Because I haven't
Oh
been to any
yeah,
you, so it's
you're onto
had.
something.
All
You're
right.
onto something.
Because I went to a networking event the first time, other than the ClickFunnels thing, because that was
Hmm.
whatever. But normally I would gone more. I would meet with people, we would have lunch, we would go get coffee, just talk. And
I
I
went
haven't
to
done
your
that in,
networking, your networking thing that you had in Columbus.
yeah, yeah, that was the
You had all
first one I've ever done, right?
you had all types of heavy hitters there.
It was a banger.
Yeah.
But that was the last one I did, but almost that might have been the last one I've gone to in a while. But I went to
Hmm.
one, probably 2 months ago or a month ago, and hey, I'm gonna take you to all these networking events, and we'll make you this guy, da 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 da. Da. And I'm like, I was a little bit scared. It's like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
one, I didn't know if I could commit to driving around all the time,
Hmm. Hmm.
but at the same time, I was like, wait, you want me to be out talking to people? Like, what's going
Hmm.
on? And not that
Hmm.
I'm not afraid to talk to people, but
Yeah.
something happened in that era of COVID that like
Hmm.
I have to break.
When you need to go to South by Southwest, Austin, Texas next year.
Okay, what is that?
You don't know South by Southwest?
No, I don't know. Southwest Airlines?
No, it's a music festival slash like tech festival slash like business festival. It's like it's
Oh
a
wow.
lot of yeah, it's dope. Yeah, South by Southwest. The fact that you never heard of it shocks me, but that isn't not like a knock on you. It's just like it's so big and popular. But we need to go to South by Southwest. You gonna make me go to Funnel Hackers.
Yeah, there it
Um,
goes.
but there is this. So first of all, let me just echo. You're right because I realized I'm a homebody now since COVID. I
Yes.
don't want to be bothered being out, and it's affected. It's affected like my I ain't gonna lie, my network has kind of dwindled down a little bit. And I used to be connected really heavy in the music and art scene as well as the business scene a little bit, but but it's like I don't have no connections no more.
Mm.
Um, so that's why when I moved to California in about 45 days to 2 months, the city I'm moving to is Redlands, California,
Wait, you're
and I'm
moving in two
telling
months?
you, yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Keep going. I heard of
yeah,
Redlands.
yeah. So wait, we're in May. We're pretty much May because it's the end of April. May, June,
Wow.
okay, it's like 2.5 months.
Still.
But I'm gonna be the king of Redlands. That's my goal. I'm gonna be the king of Redlands, business wise. I'm gonna know everybody. Give me 3 years. I'm gonna know everybody because I'm not playing games no more. Because I feel like, especially now that I'm 42, not 42, but 40 also. Like I've turned 40. I'm currently 40. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel
Wow.
like I can still be youthful, and really what I care about is talking to people maybe a little bit younger than me and people older than me because I find that those are the people that I'm able to help the most because those are the people who have the hardest time transitioning into this digital business era for their businesses and things like that. So talking to Gen Z, 20-year olds, even 30-year olds, it really doesn't unless they just want some advice on entrepreneurship, there's really no money there for me. Um so that's my goal. Is like real estate agents. I don't care anybody who has a business. I'm gonna know who they are. I'm gonna talk to them. They gonna at least know who I am, even if I might be Michael. I might be mailing out letters. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do it all, and it's just one of
That's
those things where
inspiring.
like, yeah. But I just think it's one of those situations where now that I'm this age, I think people will take me seriously, and also I know what works and doesn't work now, and I'm tired of playing games with myself.
Mm.
It's like you get mad at yourself. Because when I was there and I didn't have business cards, I was like,
Listen, this is a good
I gotta.
segue.
Why don't I have business cards? Why don't I have business cards? I've had. Why don't I? I have a business card design on my desktop right now.
Listen, this is a good
Anyway,
segue. Now we can move
segue.
into next week where I was like the webinar thing, or we
Yeah.
can keep rolling with it, but however you want to do it. But I felt like I was challenged too.
Yeah.
Last week, my one of my people that work for me, it's not a client, right? It's my workers. I don't know what to call them. Employees, team members,
Mm-hmm.
was like, Michael, I want to make more money. You need to go get more clients. Why aren't you going to get more clients? And I thought to myself, shit, why aren't I
Yeah.
getting more clients? Like, what's
Yeah.
stopping me?
Yeah.
Right. So I said, I take that challenge. So I said, you know what? So I talked to my team leader. I said, look, I need you to take over these clients. Problem that holds me up is I'm involved and
Mm-hmm.
I handle emails, I handle meetings, I just get bogged down, and I cannot even imagine taking on another 5 clients if I got to be doing more meetings and more this, more that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay. I said, all right. So then, the next day I had a webinar done. I did it Wednesday. Potentially have one guy. I mean, I didn't really promote it too much because like I wanted just to get one out. So I had to get a couple out. I feel like I got to find your voice, right? I got to find my rhythm, find what I like, what I don't like. So I didn't want to promote it too hard. But I will tell you, I am a week, if not 2 weeks away from promoting it heavily to bring in a lot of traffic, to bring in a lot of people. But to go to show with that too is I also am going to go out and network. I'm going to, you say King of Redlands. I don't know if I want to be the King of Orlando, but like, I just think I need to be out more.
Yeah.
Because my focus doesn't have to necessarily be, my focus should be more on bringing in people and then building the strategy and allowing my team to execute and me not have to be involved as much.
They should know you as much as they know Walt Disney in Orlando.
Ooh. Oh, just be out there, you're saying.
Yeah. I'm talking about like, they'd be like, we went to Disney World and it's like, oh, and we saw Michael Gabriel there. I recognized him. So I just feel like
I could be out there like that.
You could be out
and the
there.
funny thing is when I bet you me and you both have this, like you start talking, I could talk to 7 people.
Yeah.
And 5 of them would want to figure out how to work together.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like what you're saying. You know what you're talking about. And it's like, all right, let's figure this out. You just got to talk to more people.
There's a strategy that I don't know if it'll work. You tell me how stupid it sounds. And it's actually probably is stupid because it doesn't really align with any business goals, but it kind of does if this is what you want to do. So you know how like if you're a Browns player in Cleveland and it's like even if you were like kind of like not even the best Browns player, but you were a Browns player and you retire for the NFL and you live in Cleveland, you're like a local celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Because you play for the Browns. It's a small market, right? Cleveland's small, and we love football. You're a celebrity even if you were like second string defensive end or something like that, right?
People just know.
But as soon as you leave Cleveland, you're a nobody.
This is true.
So I wonder if I start putting out very short bits of content, and when I move to Redlands, like maybe Instagram or something, I don't know, a platform that allows me to like geofence, and I say, I'm literally only want people in my city and maybe the surrounding cities to see this content. It might cost me a little bit more, and it's not even necessarily for conversion. It's made for brand awareness, and I'm gonna do this for 6 months straight. These people are gonna see my face for the next 6 months just in this region, and it's just like, just blah blah blah, just blasting them, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like you're like a local celebrity for business or a local celebrity for whatever. And you say, well, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you just go bigger and just get anybody who would convert, right? Well, say you're trying to do local business, or say you're trying to be more face to face. Maybe you're tired of the Zoom meetings. Maybe you want to be in an area where you can actually drive and meet people. It might be like the Browns thing, where your local celebrityism helps you even get more business than just you connecting with a random guy from Minnesota who happens to like your value proposition. It's like, I don't know. It's just I'm thinking about stuff
Well,
like that.
no, I think that has some weight to it only because it's like this instant rapport building.
Hmm.
It's like, wait, you live in? Oh, you live
Yeah,
there? Or like
yeah,
it happens with me when someone says they went to school in DePaul. I'm like,
yeah,
DePaul?
yeah,
I went
yep,
there too. And it's like, oh my God, the blah, 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 blah. Or you just say you're from Chicago, and I will be
yeah,
like, I went to DePaul. We got a
yeah,
connection, right?
yeah,
So I think it holds weight for what you're saying because it just and when you call out your local market too, the ad hits a little different.
yeah, yeah. It feels
Hey
grounded.
Orlando, yeah, hey Orlando people, what you doing
Yeah,
Saturday? We got
yeah,
this event.
yeah,
I get a couple of those, but then I get the
yeah,
national one too. 10x happening here. Da, 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 da,
yeah.
da.
It's
I'm
just
like,
like,
eh.
yeah,
But it's like, hey Orlando folks, you business owner, but I stop and hesitate, and that's all it is, right? I think
yeah,
with ads, I'm dealing with a couple clients. They're like, hey, my stuff is not converting. And I try to tell them, like, look, we got to look at the site because the ad is to sell the click. It's not to sell the product.
yeah,
Your website is there to sell the product,
yeah,
but we just need to sell the click. So if we can see our cost per clicks are low, your click through rate is nice, like, yeah, we want the messaging to, because we don't want shocker, right? We don't want people to go from the ad to the website and be like, what ad did I just click on? That has
yeah. It's
nothing
like
to
a
do
bait and
with it.
switch.
Yeah, well, it's not. Thank you. It's no bait and switching. But if it's all relevant, then there's something wrong on the site. Nice.
Yeah, we can go to the second. You want to end the live and start it again?
Yeah. So that's all we're doing for this
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
Because
Hey,
next week we're gonna go through my kind of like my thoughts of going through a campaign of how I'm gonna promote myself and my business. So that's what I want to talk about.
all right, cool. Until
See you.
next week slash in 2 seconds.